pick off when there is a Camille already. You have that combination, it's just so difficult to exit out of an engage coming in from Weibo Gaming or whoever is the team that has that Camille. Now the Yone gets picked up. That's another backline access that they can actually fully utilize here for Do, and he has loved that champion ever since season number 1. But I'm a little bit concerned on their actual frontline power here, especially that Weibo Gaming does have tons of burst potential. Even if Do can have a great kill potential, he is prone to getting picked off as well.
Absolutely. But all things considered, I think Weibo's a pretty decent front line for now, but Luna, or rather KT.RY are locking up that Yone, something that we did not necessarily see a lot of, or I think I didn't see much of in last week's games, or in our last week's game. So pretty excited to see Yone back again, especially up against this Aatrox. The rest of the bands coming through. No ADC yet on both sides, no bot lane for both sides yet, and it's quite surprising that we're gonna be saving that for our last rotation here. Xayah definitely still available, so I think that's gonna be the priority here for KT.RY. First pick.
Corki is still available, Karma as well, Xayah for Weibo Gaming if they do want to have great repositioning ability. Though Zed is also very mobile, and they will just pick it up without hesitation. That's one of the champions that they have picked up in order for them to get a great win against J-Team. Duanyu is one of the best Zeri users here in Season 2, and it was backed up by their game against J-Team during day number 4. And right now, we have interesting approval ratings, 51 to 49.
Wow. Almost even here, but KT.RY are just edging out a little bit here by 1%, but come on, it's basically even here on both sides. Talking about comps though, I have to say I'm really liking both of the comps, but I want to favor Weibo Gaming's comp just a little bit more because of the simple fact that they have a little bit more mix up in terms of damage, right? I mean, you want to have as healthy of a mix here of magic and physical damage, and I think Weibo, because they have the Zoe, have a little bit more in that bag, but KT.RY they do have the liberty of the counter picks. They have Yone, they have sort of a reactive playstyle that they can go for with the Galio being available and the Karma as well. So I think they have a little bit CC wise and utility wise on fair ground, but in terms of mixability of damage, if that makes sense, I think Weibo has more in the bag, which is why I like Weibo's comp a little bit more.
Yeah, I actually really understand your point there, Datum. But I have to side on KT.RY this time around. I think I really like their counter engage potential. They have the Hero's Entrance for backup. They have the Transcendent Embrace on Karma of Acrobat. And we see Luna, the former ADC or Dragon Laner of KT.RY, that just is a really incredible Dragon Laner for KT, pick up the Xayah in the mid lane. I think that's going to be really interesting to see here. Actually, they're just going to be swapping sides. Luna is going to be in the bottom lane, and the Karma goes in mid.
That'll be interesting to see Xayah in the mid lane. I do hope one day we'll get to see that, but it's gonna be not today. It's not an easy feat to execute after all, but of course, opportunity once it arises, you want to see it. Something, you know what, GG, I want to talk about that, right? Off meta picks. It's something that if it works, it's wonderful, but if it doesn't work, you kind of look a little bit foolish, right? So it's always nice to see. It's always nice to see. I mean, talk about like for example in Worlds, like Toynbee picking up the Nautilus in the
Nautilus mid, Pike mid,
and absolutely destroying the competition. You always love to see it.
I mean, last Sunday, we have seen Pantheon support by J-Team against Nova Esports. And it was actually effective. Had it been not for long, getting so many Baron steals and also so many objective steals, they could have won. They should have won the game. They were ahead by 11,000 gold at some point in that time. So
such a
maybe we would see more Pantheons and other cheesy picks coming towards this second half of the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about it, Pantheon pick makes a ton of sense, right? Especially when you are in a matchup that doesn't involve a Galio or a Shen. Pantheon that mobility, that global presence is always something that is very nice to have. This time, early rotate coming through from Fan done towards bottom side of the map here. Gets double locked up there by Luna on the Blade Caller. So just a little bit of a help to shove the lane, I guess, as Weibo.
Just give a little bit of XP as well towards
True.
Fan. So
True.
he can recover from the earlier mishaps a while ago.
And besides, that's just a very, very quick full clear. I mean, take a look at the map. The whole blue side jungle here has already been cleared up by Fan there. So Aatrox's wave clear speed, 2 thumbs up. Really good.
Top side.
Fan, okay, World Ender activated immediately on top of the Hextech ultimatum, and Rattel's got nowhere to run unless he flashes behind, and that's exactly what he does. Rattel survives the first gank, but that's a good first flash burn coming through, and the lane getting shoved as well, so Rattel can't really back out for now. Has to soak up this XP, which leaves him vulnerable for a second gank here, but I don't think Weibo fancies that. I think they're just happy with the flash being burned.
Yeah, it's just a flash burn, also some pressure being felt there by Rattel. Great rotation coming in from Fan, to be honest, and that almost had Weibo Gaming secure that first blood. Now FaZe gonna be in the bottom lane. G-Can not going in.
Well, here we go. Nice little counter engage there from Zero, as the one you gets chipped down to around 100. Not really having the best of times here in the early game, and doesn't have a lot of damage yet, but here comes the double knockup coming through. Luna gets ticked down by the Ignite, almost going down as well. Unfortunately, Duan Yu doesn't really have the positioning for that execute, so Luna stays alive for now. And really slow start here on our first game. We're approaching the 4-minute mark now. No first engagement yet. Both junglers potentially just waiting for the first big objective to spawn up. It should happen just a bit, but here comes the fake sealed on from Do onto Zihan. Doesn't have the ult, remember, so the Exec ultimate I'm gonna have to wait for now. Knockup is there. But Zihan survives for now. Really good reaction times there on the hook shot.
Yeah,
but
no follow-up just yet from, or no full commitment coming in from KT.RY. I think they're giving so much respect here towards Weibo Gaming, especially in their potential to punish any sort of even minor mistakes.
True.
Are just so crucial here, especially that it's already a minute before the first objective spawn. I think KT.RY is very happy to just get a couple of small wins. Resources denied, summoner spell being burned, especially in preparation for the first objective, because they have really good scaling. They have the Jax, they have the Yone, they have the Zaya. Same goes for Weibo Gaming. That's why we're seeing them a little bit more passive than usual. Aatrox, even the Zoe scales up really hard, and Zeri later on will pop off.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar comps, very similar win conditions on both sides, right? Which is why we're seeing kind of a slow game here on both sides. Sion got to be extra careful here. If he goes down, this Drake is going to go down uncontested on the side of KT.RY. So you're going to have to find a little bit of a hold here on that bottom side of the map as Dose starts up this first Drake of the game. Meanwhile, Rift Herald getting started by Weibo this time. Zihan getting dunked on by the bottom two duo. Luna activates the OT as the Exec ultimatum pops here onto Zero, but it's just a bit too late, but he still finds the trade somehow, as that's a 1-for-1. And in terms of the objectives as well.
Great microplay there coming from Zihan, especially because he was able to dodge a Blade Crawler of Luna. That paved the way for the tower to land an extra hit onto him and secure that 1-for-1. Weibo Gaming as well securing this first blood top side, or almost. I mean, that's still a couple of plays that they have secured without the use of the RH. It's just massive in terms of macro.
Absolutely. And because they didn't have to use that, they could use it somewhere else. That's huge here for their side. 6 minutes into the game now, and it is looking
mid lane's gone.
Pretty standard here on both sides. Engagement coming through as Acrobat looks to lock up Fan. Okay, that's a Rift Herald getting popped here as Daw looks for the Fate Sealed on the target, but just doesn't have the proper position. And as you said, that's a mid lane gone. Top lane almost going down as well, down to 200 HP on that turret. So now KT.RY really have a dilemma. Which side are they going to reinforce? But I think it's only inevitable that the next turret is going to go down in favor of Weibo. So early game looking stellar here for Weibo Gaming.
KT.RY doing a really good job keeping check of the economy, because they have been farming really efficiently as well. That's why the gold lead isn't really as concerning for them just yet, even if they have lost so many plays in top side and they lost their mid lane already. Rattel as well, just handling his own, handling really well actually on his own against anyone here of Weibo Gaming, despite the ganks, despite the rotations, despite the constant pressure coming in from Zihan. Is not really feeling that much against Weibo Gaming. So KT.RY, despite them being patient, actually is being very, very efficient as well, since we have seen a kill as well for Luna. That's great scaling for his side. Weibo Gaming kinda needs to step up maybe to catch him.
That is true. And if you think about it, this minute gold lead that is present is ultimately a headache here for Weibo, because you said it yourself, GG, KT.RY have the better scaling comp. They have a Yone, they have a Jax, and of course they have Luna on that Xayah. So the longer the game goes on, KT.RY is inevitably gonna have the advantage. And now that they're not even behind in the early game, it's a nightmare as Weibo finds a long-range sleepy trouble, and that is going to be 2 players immediately down on KT.RY's side. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They should find an advantage in the early game, and finally Weibo does.
That's so unfortunate coming in from KT.RY, especially that we haven't seen Zero cast in the hero's entrance towards Taw. I think they had a miscommunication, also maybe just bad calculation in terms of the burst potential here of Weibo Gaming. That led to a 2-0 beatdown here by Weibo Gaming that will just set up this game for them.
Yeah, I think they were just not anticipating the amount of presence that Weibo had in that red side jungle. And I don't think nobody saw that sleepy trouble coming through, so KT.RY really caught unaware there. Nice jump from Weibo, and this is the first step in the proper direction for them. I mean, we're talking about scaling so much here because KT.RY, they're playing for the long game here. And Weibo, they're supposed to find the advantage before we get to that late game for them to stand a chance. But Rattel getting spotted by Gekkian. That is going to be the layer of CC onto him. Does have the counter-strike to stay alive for now, so stays relatively safe as Drake is spawning up soon. Look at the amount of presence that KT.RY are posting up here on this Drake side. They're now fighting for vision, but Weibo is looking to set up another engagement in the blue buff. Do can't even get close to that blue buff. Instead, it's Luna helping him out. Smite actually goes in the way of Fan, and here comes Do. Gets the knockup. Not the Fate Sealed activating yet, so yeah, that's unfortunate right there.
Very unfortunate, especially for Do. He's down more than 1,000 gold against his matchup, which is Fan here on the Aatrox. And looking at this Aatrox by Fan, it's actually having so much sustain already, especially from the life steal that he has picked up on that rotator. Pretty odd build. So far it has been working here on the side of Weibo Gaming, so let's see how it's gonna be going later on. KT.RY is still struggling, down at 3,000 at 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Objectives are gonna spawning up in the next 2 minutes, but let's see if KT will be successful with this gank. Chicken spots Zero, and we'll just cancel everything out.
Oh, Gekkian. It's the knockup onto Zero. And that's, okay, got a reveal of the intentions here of KT.RY as they get engaged on by the Hextech ultimate on Zihan. Finds Rattel, but the counter-strike is just too big of a headache. Duan can't really get the execute for now, but that is going to be the old pop from the Zeri. Also running for the hills. Nice flag forward onto Justice Punch, and now they execute with the Fate Seal. So Zoe goes down. KT.RY pulls the trigger. They find one. They counter engage the 1-2. Beautiful for them. Just in time for the Drake to spawn up as well. KT.RY, they can reset, head towards the Drake, and really good job.
It's already taken by Fan at this point.
True.
While Weibo Gaming stalling KT.RY and Do was on the way towards the top side, Fan already took the dragon for them, equalized the stacks. It's just an amazing macro play here by Weibo Gaming, baiting KT.RY.
Yeah. Bigger picture included. I think that was in the macro sense a worth it trade, considering Weibo is still ahead in terms of gold. Let's take a look at what happened there again one more time.
I mean, just a bit of an overextension there by KT.RY. Over a minute they stayed. That paved the way for Fan to take the dragon while Rattel was being pinned out. Great chase down by Duan Yu as well. As Jigen is just landing, a great pressure against KT.RY. Zero turn, that actually was great, but the only thing that they secured is 1 kill. Exactly. In exchange for an objective, which is a dragon that they should have invested more so that they could have a soul point, is not really a good trade for KT.
Now Exhaust coming through as, okay, Luna stays alive because of the heroic entrance there from Zero. Gekian pops the ignites. Okay, gets the blade collar stun onto one, but now everyone's engaging, and that's gonna be the Zaya out for the count. Flash forward coming through onto the hook shot as Zihan dives that tower into the back line. Do is out, and Zihan looking for more as Fan ticks down because of the ignite. Zero looks to protect his Karma teammates. As that's Weibo turning the tide against KT Roaster as they take control of this red buff side and they start the Baron. This is a very risky call here from Weibo.
Yeah, Ratel is pushing bot side, so maybe they can get at least a tower then in exchange for this Baron because they have no way to steal this objective unless Inner Flame would get it. Well, they didn't, and Weibo Gaming gets away with a big objective.
At least they're able to trade it with one tower, but Weibo, exactly. Slowly getting these big objectives and slowly taking control of the game now is certainly a good thing for them. And KT Roaster, that dominant side that we've yet to see from them. Remember, this KT Roaster squad, whenever they get ahead, it's really hard to take them down. But just getting ahead now is a big trouble for them already because Weibo just have so many engaged things. Right? You got the hook shot coming through from Duan, and you got the engages from the Alistar, and even the Battle Star is a headache here for Faye. KT Roaster, they can't really even find an avenue to start these fights. If you can really notice here, Zero has been using the ulti very defensively here, so they really have been struggling to look for these fight opportunities that they so really want.
Interesting build by Fan as well. Bloodthirster and Serenity Force on Atrox, because normally we do see the utility build coming.
Oh yeah,
right? It's different. It's just a carry build.
Speaking of Fan though, he's looking to start a fight against Ratel, who's just so tanky in this late game. Look, level 12 on the Jack, still keeping up a fight against Fan, but they finally do find the execute onto him. As Weibo start to crash down the base here off the side of Roaster Y. They can't really realistically look for a fight. They are, remember, 7,000 gold behind now as Weibo. Not really looking to overextend. And, well, very disciplined. So, the amount of respect that Weibo still has for KT Roaster is immense here. But, yeah, Ratel just staying a little bit too deep here. Just full sense of security on that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it's a slow burn that Weibo Gaming is going at KT Roaster Y at this point. They know that they have great scaling as well, especially because of the Seri, because of the Aatrox. Now
now Zero getting caught up here by the amount of CC, just trying to find a little bit of vision, but now it gets knocked up and knocked down. That's Zero going down, and no one has enough damage to shut down even Gekian here, who just plays guard duty. Now Sleepy Trouble connects into the second part of the queue, triggers the stasis coming through, but no can't survive this, not for sure. And two of their players go down. Their KT Roaster make that 3 as Ratel goes down as well. That's 4 players out for KT Roaster, and Acrobat the only one left standing to try and hold the base as the first inhib turret goes down. That's the Nexus exposed. There is the Nexus shield to come up, but Acrobat, can he defend? No, he can't. That's Weibo walking away with the first game of the series.
It has been a slow but decisive victory here by Weibo Gaming. Incredible macro, incredible micro, and great read against KT Roaster Y.